Hello everybody, Swagnozle here. Today I'll be bringing you a 1-to-120 woodcutting guide. I hope you enjoy these bunnies for the next 2 seconds. Yeah. Just a quick disclaimer before I get started with the video. Throughout the video I will be using the Inferno Azed. The requirements for that are up on the screen. Basically 1/3 of the time, instead of putting the log into your backpack, it will burn it for fire making experience, the full fire making experience. In the background I'll be showing you a few items that, number one, help you with your woodcutting experience per hour, increasing it by a few percentiles each, and also some items that are useful for woodcutting and also give you bonus experience in fire making. Here is where you would usually see a hatchet graphic. Now, because of the new tool belt feature that is in the game, that really doesn't need to be here, because at level 1 woodcutting 1 attack, you can put a rune hatchet on your tool belt and it will rank up depending on your woodcutting level in its efficiency until eventually when you do hit 41 woodcutting it will be used as a literal rune hatchet. 1 to 15 you're going to be cutting normal trees. Now in my opinion the best place to cut these is Draenor Manor, which is located north of Draenor Village. The nice thing about these dead trees is they do give you normal logs, but more importantly, they're clumped together really tightly. So it's super easy to just click through them. Obviously, you're going to be cutting them a little bit slower than I am because I am 99 wood cutting, but all the same, they're very easy. The only thing you have to watch out for are these undead trees, which if you click on them, they will hit you back. So yeah, just if you're lower level, watch out. They probably won't hit all that hard, but all the same, just something to watch out for. There's a few ideal locations within Draenor Manor that are good, but just whatever you like. They're everywhere, as you can see. So yeah, just try that. And the nice thing also about normal logs, doing this 1 to 15 grind, is that you can make them all into arrow shafts. So you don't have to bank whatsoever, and you can just do this until 15. Once you are 15 woodcutting, you can start cutting oak trees, and you'll be here until level 30. The best place I've found to cut these is east of the Draenor Village Bank. Now the nice thing about this little area is that there are 3 oak trees, and oh, this tree's in my way. 3 oak trees in a clump together, which is always nice, but more importantly, it's near a bank. You can either fletch them, fire make them, or just throw them in the bank. I'll be throwing the GE info of how much you can make off this below, but generally speaking, you probably want to be using them to get up your fletching or fire making at this point, because hey, experience, right? From 30 to 68 you'll be cutting willow trees. Now there's a few different locations you can cut them. My favorite would be Catherby, just because it's right next to the bank and it's a little bit lighter. You know, you've got like the sea going on, like a ship. I don't know. Draenor gets a little bit tired after getting the oaks done and being basically right in front of a creepy manor for the first 15 levels. So anyway, it's lighter, it's more positive, and I like it a little bit more. The other alternative you can do by having a games necklace is teleporting to the barbarian outpost, and in front of it, as soon as we get there, you can cut the willow trees out here. They're also clumped up, pretty ideal, kind of nice, but more importantly, the way you bank them is a little bit different. Instead of going directly to your bank and having access to it and all that, you come up and click this bank deposit box and then deposit all your willows. And then you can run out and continue woodcutting. So it may be a little bit quicker, but there's not many people that do train here anyway, so it may be a little bit lonely. At level 68 you'll be able to start cutting ivy. In my opinion, the best place to cut ivy is directly north of Port Scarum or near Draenor and north of the main farm there. The benefit to ivy is that you don't receive anything from it other than bird nests. Now with bird nest you can receive more by wearing a rabbit foot necklace, but generally it'll take a long while for you to get enough bird nests to fill up your entire inventory. So you'll be here for a while. It might be a little bit boring, but on the more populated worlds you will find a lot of people around here, so maybe a nice conversation or two. Otherwise, the only downside to ivy is that you won't be able to use woodcutting urns, so even though it's pretty good experience, you might find, depending on your luck, some better experience just chopping normal trees that are your level, and also you don't get any logs from this, so might be more beneficial to you to chop yews or something of the sort once you get higher with urns. Once you reach level 90 in woodcutting, ivy becomes a little bit less attractive experience-wise. The next bump up is Artic Pines. So I'll show you how to do those. First of all, you've got to have done the beginning of the Frimnic Isles quest to be able to do this, so you just talk to Maria Gunnars on the coast of Relica and travel over to Nezinatcher. That probably is what it's called, or how you pronounce it. I don't know, but we're just running with it, so just hang in there with me. So, running north, you can see all these yaks and all this weird village stuff, but anyways, the pines you're going to be looking at are actually right here. There's actually a penguin seem to be in the middle. You click on the bridge and run across. And the reason why you want to be using these over some of the other Arctic pines in the area is simply put, they're in a circle, and circles are awesome. So you run up, you start cutting them, and as soon as you get, oh, also something awesome for these is having an Inferno as you just saw, I cut 3 and burned 2 out of 3, so your inventory really doesn't stock up as quickly, so that's a really nice thing to have for this. I may be doing an Inferno as guide eventually on how to get it, but it's kind of this long process, so I'm not really sure yet. Either way, set these Arctic pine logs to whatever favorite keybind you like, it doesn't really matter. The difference between these and other logs is that their first option is light. You can't craft them, so that's all you can do with them, either light or drop them. Obviously, dropping them would take a lot of time, it'd be really, really annoying, so what you can do, because there is only one option with these, is you can spam click the keybind, you can literally just hold it down, and what it'll do, it'll drop all the logs and start one fire. So as you see, boom, all gone, one fire, and then you continue on cutting. You can use urns doing this, but honestly, you're going to be here for so long, it would kind of just be annoying, and holding it down would definitely mess up with woodcutting, with the entire woodcutting process the entire time. So anyways, this comes to around 100 to 125k experience per hour, so it's amazing, like amazing, and you can even use this strategy all the way up to 120 if you like. But most people, because the trees do cut down and because you have to actually, you know, click something to get them dropped and all that, see there, it dropped like 6. Usually you want like 8 logs-ish before you click your keybind. But anyway, it'll net a lot of fire making experience from your ASD plus throwing them down on the ground, lighting them, and that whole process. But anyways, I love Arctic pines, so do it. From 94 to 99, you'll be cutting crystal trees if you want the incredibly AFK version of Arctic pines. I really like them because you can make a little bit of profit and they just kind of look cool, and it can also be kind of a social experience regardless. On the screen right now, you're going to be seeing the 7 locations, soon to be 8 with the Elf City, of the crystal trees. While you're cutting them, you can wear a rabbit foot necklace to acquire some more crystal geodes, and from these crystal geodes you can get gems, Triskelion key pieces, a bunch of different stuff, which will probably be in the description below if you're interested in that. So that's where the profit comes from. So you would question, why are you not cutting this tree right here? Well, I will tell you. Every 2 hours of the day, a new location will spawn. There will always be a location that is active on every world, and it's random. So every world's different. There are 3 items you're going to need to teleport around and get to the locations along with the lodestone network. That'll be a Ring of Wealth, Games Necklace, and Ring of Dueling. There's a very easy way to find this out. You can either go to the Tree Hunt FC and ask for locations. I'll tell you the world and where they are, which is really easy, but the problem with that sometimes is that they're really crowded because a lot of people know about that friends chat, and that sometimes will lessen your experience per hour. So if you're interested in getting max experience per hour, the best way is to find them yourself, because having a tree to yourself is the best thing, or even just having 4 people on a tree isn't overkill at all. So find any tree in the world, any crystal tree in the world, and look at it. It says the tree leans slightly to the west. So that tells me, from my knowledge of the chart of the graphic that I previously put up, that the location that is active on this world is the Gnome Stronghold location. So what I'm going to do is use my Ring of Wealth to go to the Grand Exchange, and then head, oh, that was a wall, head directly north to the Spirit Tree. You can also use the Gnome Glider to get there, but to my knowledge, there's not that many good places to get to a Gnome Glider. Maybe like Catherby or something, or maybe I'm completely wrong. But either way, I just like the Spirit Tree. So teleporting over to the Tree Gnome Stronghold and getting gripped into the ground. Gonna be heading a little bit north, mostly west. Heading straight past this elder tree, which is also kind of a valid tree to chop, but not as close to some of the other lodestones as others are. I'll be going into that in the next clip. And we find a crystal tree. So, the nice thing about this, there actually is 4 people here, which is really convenient, and that guy's squid on his head. And he's got a rhino following him. Okay, anyways, the nice thing about crystal trees in general is they are super AFKable. You can make a little bit of money, but mostly it's just nice to have people around. I mean, the entire process of doing woodcutting is just AFKing, and you get some nice conversation or whatever. It really wasn't that bad of a grind from 94 to 99 with crystal trees. I did do it, and there's kind of a weird community of people going for 200 mil, which is really kind of nice, I guess. It would help if you're going for a higher goal to get the lumberjack set. I do not have it because temple trekking is the bane of my existence, but what are you gonna do? Onward to elder trees. So now either you are level 90 woodcutting and looking to get some money, or you're 99 and looking to get 120. So for a lot of people going for 120, when it comes to trees in general, crystal trees, ivy, which doesn't even make any sense, Artic Pines, or elders kind of come out as the winner. And the reason is you know that this tree will not fall down until 5 minutes is up. Every 5 minutes, the branches fall off and you have to go to a different location. Now there's a few different ideal locations that you can go to cut these, and I'll be showing you these in this video after I explain. So at level 90 woodcutting, you're going to be looking at like 350k an hour profit, something around that at level, maybe 375, 95, 400, and then at 99 maybe around, with like an aura or something of the sort, maybe like 500k, but just expect around 400k profit. The only bummer when it comes to chopping these is if you are using an Inferno as, you will burn 1/3 of the logs, but it does grant a lot of experience. So you can cut that in 1/3 and that will be your profit if you're using the as over the Dragon Hatchet. What I like to do, because it just seems to make it the most efficient way possible, is use Signs of the Porter. Currently I'm 92 divination, so I can only use Signs of the Porter 5s. But these specifically will teleport 25 logs to your bank every sign. So let's say you have an entire inventory. Let's say you have 99 divination and you fill your entire inventory with Sign of the Porters. That means they teleport 30 logs at a time over the ones that you don't burn if you're using the Ast. That's 3 if you use an entire inventory, which will take a long time. You're going to profit around 3.5 mil. So you can just go from tree to tree to tree every 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for them to grow back. So while you're at the other tree, there you go. So let's go over to Varrock and I'll show you another awesome location. You can either use 2 different trees or 3. I like to use 3 just simply because I don't like to come back and then have it regrowing and be like, oh, why are you still regrowing tree, and then have to teleport back. So I usually use starting off using the Explorer's Ring teleport, going over to Draenor, or to the Ivy Patch where we spent so much time earlier. I do that tree, teleport to Varrock, close to Lodestone. Here is one right here. So you can do the exact same thing. And then 5 minutes after the branches fall off this one, you can go to Yanil, which also usually takes 2 clicks when you stop woodcutting for the teleporting. And then when you eventually teleport over there, near the crystal tree for Yanil, you'll find another elder tree. And so you can swap in between these 3 trees, and they seem to just be the best for me. I like them the best, and they seem to be kind of the fastest. If you can manage to just do those 2, it'd be great. So, like I said before, the benefit of grinding these to 120 for a lot of people, for the majority, every 120 woodcutter that's going for 200 mil that I've talked to said that elder trees by far are their favorite, because you can just sit there for 5 minutes. You don't have to move, you don't have to think about anything, you just watch a movie, do homework, whatever, and just chop elder trees. One method of training I wanted to mention before I ended the video is C2 woodcutting. The strategy here is basically to make a complexity 2 dungeon, enter it, a small dungeon that is, and chop all the trees on the walls and fish all the fish in the dungeon. So basically you rush through and then you leave the dungeon and then re-enter another C2 and just continue on that way. It takes a lot of effort, but it can net up to 125k experience in fishing and woodcutting. Sometimes you have to get lucky because the spawns really are random at times when it comes to rooms, but there's been people that can get those types of numbers. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like, maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'll be having more guides like this one coming out very, very soon, along with an Elf City guide coming out when the Elf City eventually does drop, and I'll be putting all this into a playlist for your viewing ease. If you're interested in joining my friends chats, I'll be in there for a long, long time, hopefully. And if you have any questions at all, please leave them here or on YouTube or there, or just send me a private message in game. I'm down either way. Thanks so much for watching again, and definitely have an awesome day.